Hey, welcome. So a lot of you were complaining about me not being very civilized with my beard, so well, it's back again. So yesterday there was an appointment that I had with a student from Berlin. And that was a very peculiar discussion because generally the kind of calls I receive are rather from students who want to come to Germany. Every now and then students who are already studying in Germany and want to figure out their studies better. But this one was actually really a very difficult scenario because there were just a lot of things that could go wrong if you don't take care of the tiny details there. So let me uncover that. So the student who is studying in Berlin, he's a very capable student, and he covered his 90 credits in almost around 2 years, which is very nice because that's something that you should be aiming for. If not 2 years, 1.5 years, but both of them are absolutely fine. So he started his studies in 2017, and around this time he already had his 90 ECTS in his pocket. Now he was starting his master thesis, found a professor and everything, found a topic, which is really nice because these things also take time. And around the same time he got a notice from the university saying, because you failed in an exam 3 times, we will be exmatriculating you if you do not give us a good explanation till this and this date. So the date is still for a few days, I think rather maybe 2-3 weeks or something. So we sat down, we came up with a nice strategy what kind of explanation would be a good one to give to them. And I will be keeping in touch with him to see how things progress further, because for me it's very important that anybody who comes in contact with me, I see that they're actually getting their problem solved. Because many a times it's yeah, you just have one tiny talk and afterwards you don't really care about the person anymore. So I will be staying in touch with him and I will update you guys afterwards to what actually happened in this situation. But essentially in Germany, when you're studying in a public university, or for that matters even in a private one, whenever you fail in an exam, you get most of the times automatically re-registered for the next intake for the same exam. That means maybe I write the exam of accounting in my master's program and I fail it the first time, then I will automatically get re-registered the next time. In TUHH, because this was a pain, many students did not want to get re-registered and they did not even want to write that exam afterwards. For TUHH at least, there is no problem like that. If you do not want to get registered for an elective program in the next intake too, and you do not want to do it at all, then it's totally fine, and you wouldn't suffer because of this. If it is a compulsory subject, then of course you get re-registered automatically. But in Berlin the issue is that even for elective these modules you get re-registered automatically. Even if you don't want to do it, you have to manually unregister yourself from that subject so that you're not writing that exam and automatically failing again. So in most of the German universities you just get 2 more attempts. There's your first attempt, the normal attempt that you're having, then afterwards you have 2 more attempts, and if you're not able to clear exam then the university is going to ban you from ever studying a similar master's program throughout Germany. So this is a very strict thing, and this is something that most of the students should really be careful about, because students come to Germany and they're thinking yeah, master's is going to be a piece of cake, and most of the times it isn't, because their standards, their expectations from you as a student who is doing their masters is completely different. That means that not only you have to be completely responsible for taking care of your own things, taking care of the tasks and assignments and presentations that they give you, but also to go deeper, which also requires time. This means you cannot just think that you are going to be fine in masters without spending a lot of time in it. So that's the completely false way of thinking this. And on top of that, if you fail in an exam 3 times, you can get exmatriculated. In TUHH there's still a better system that you can get failed 3 times, but afterwards, after the 3rd time, you still have an option of doing an oral exam. So in total you essentially have 4 trials. But in the 4th one, if it comes to the oral exam, then you will never get a better score than 4.0. So very important thing to consider. So if you see that you're lacking in some subjects, already try to prepare for that. So in this particular case where the student failed 3 times, he essentially also got a post every single time he failed. But because the post was in German and he did not think that it is going to be such a big deal, he did not really care about it, which was a huge blunder. But of course from my experience, I know that a lot of Indian students do this mistake. They think first of all, their German proficiency is not so good. Like that student I talked to, like he did not know any German, so of course like he wouldn't be willing to, I don't know, like knock on somebody's door or like, you know, ask his German friends or something to like ask, hey, what is going on here. He tried to translate a few stuff, then afterwards decided like, you know, might not be so important, so left it away. So this is a huge mistake. Any kind of mail that you receive, it is super important that you go through it carefully and see what kind of options you have afterwards. Whenever a situation like this happens, make sure that you contact your course coordinator the first time and you also like talk to him about this. And many times the course coordinators or the head of the departments, they are rather open. Like if you take an appointment with the secretary or with the professor, then afterwards, you know, you will have your half an hour or 1 hour where you can just sit down and discuss with them this issue. So this is super important. Like, you know, make use of that and don't let it come to a situation where you are almost about to write your master thesis and you have your 90 credits done, but the university then afterwards threatens you that we will exmatriculate you because you failed in this elective subject, which essentially did not have so much to do with your core studies. How can these things be avoided? First, like, please, whenever you're coming to Germany, or like if you're planning to come to Germany, make sure that you have some sort of German level proficiency, and like the minimum that you can have is at least B1. The people who say I have A1 German proficiency, I have A2, like it's an absolute joke. Like it doesn't matter at all. You cannot like even have a normal conversation with A1, A2. Even with B1 you have a lot of difficulty in making a conversation. When you come to B2, then you can have like some kind of like normal conversation with other people. So it is super important that you have at least like B1, a strong B1 when you're coming to Germany. And it is also like not so undoable. Like I mentioned previously, like the institute like Language Pantheon, they can teach you one level in every single month. So essentially you just need 3 months alongside whatever you're doing, and the application process that you're doing, it doesn't take every single day. It doesn't require 24 hours of your time every single day for 3 months for you to get it done. You know, maybe it's just the process of a week or like maybe 2 weeks or something. The rest of the time you can really focus on learning German. It is hands down the most important thing you can do. Not only does it help you to integrate better into the German job market, but also whenever you see these kind of notices, you just know that, you know, this is a potentially dangerous situation and you should rather take it more seriously. During the India seminars this time in March 2019, I was making a joke in the seminars that, you know, like it is important for you to learn German because, for example, you're going through a bridge and in front of the bridge there's a big notice board written that, you know, please do not cross the bridge, but it's written in German. And because you don't do it, you just cross the bridge and like maybe something bad happens. And this is exactly the same story because, man, I mean, I used to have nightmares like that maybe my master's is almost about to finish, but something screws up and what am I going to do? But to see that actually happen to somebody and then we are trying to figure something out is a rather stressful situation, because you do not want to be dealing with any kind of this like nonsense stress when you're right in the middle of your master thesis. I remember when I was in the middle of the master thesis and man, like I really like left everything. Like there were no emails going around, there were no YouTube videos coming up. Whatever videos you were seeing, like the Goethe collaboration that you were seeing, those videos are already coming edited to me from this company that Goethe Institute hired. So they would edit the video, they would send it to me, I would upload, and like, you know, you guys would see the videos then. So that was the story. Like I was essentially doing nothing because you really need at least not 6 months, I wouldn't say, like, you know, because for master thesis they say you need like 6 months of a lot of hard work. I would definitely say, but like around 3 months. Like around 3 months is something that you should definitely, you know, take out for your thesis and work properly with that. Because if you're juggling so many different things, and look in my case, like I wrote essentially I think 3 or 4 exams this time, and I did the thesis which I submitted on 21st October. So my last exam was around 8th August, so I had like August complete, September complete, and like kind of October. So this was like, again, these 3 months that I'm talking about, right? Now be very careful. I mean, these kind of things, any kind of notices that you receive, be careful. If you cannot figure out what to do with that, talk to your university lawyer. and most of the times they will really help you out with that. Most of the German universities, they have a university lawyer appointed to the student association, and the fees of the lawyer is already paid when you're actually like putting in your semester contributions. Now and then I think half an hour or I think 1 hour of time can be allotted to you where you can just sit down with the lawyer and like speak about things, be it your rental contract, be it your phone contract, or be it like any kind of nonsense. You can just sit down with them and you can like, you know, take your opinion on with them. And then the first meeting is always free, and then afterwards if you want to move further, then like I think there's going to be some kind of expenses. So like I said, when you're studying in a German university, keep your eyes and ears open. Whatever you read, whatever you get from somewhere, talk to those people, or like, you know, discuss with your friends or with anybody whom you think is going to be a good fit for discussing this kind of situation, right? And I think like these kind of problems will be kind of avoided in my mentorship program, which is going to be coming soon for the students who are already studying in Germany. So that is going to be something interesting, and you know, maybe we can avoid these kind of situations. So that was pretty much it, guys. Be very careful of whatever kind of mails you're receiving, because they could essentially kind of make or break your career, right? Keep that advice, and I'll see you in another video.